Look, if you have one God, one offer of eternity that exceeds everything you've ever wanted, with one opponent, would you ask for it or just let it slip? Yo.
And I'm not going to play the rest of that song because, first of all, let's see. Well, I'm not. I mean, bloody hell, this is going on Spotify, so why the hell am I gonna freaking just rip an entire song? And plus, that's not what I'm gonna be doing. And also, too, I mean, this, as you may have already, realized from the, from the opening lyrics that this is not the original song. As a matter of fact, it is a parody. And this parody is by Apologetics, which is a Christian, it's a Christian parody band. Think Weird Al Yankovic, but still making music, first of all, and second of all, like literally everything they make is freaking Christian related, and they mostly make parodies off of freaking classic rock songs, and this is some of their like very few songs that actually go into the 2000s. And as far as I know, like I actually do follow the band, and I hadn't seen anything, I hadn't seen any like parodies of modern songs or whatever. So really, like, the 2000s is as far as they go. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about Apologetics. I'm here to discuss why I just played the beginning part of that song. So, if you had one God, if you had, you know what I mean. I'm tired. I'm kind of tired here. Well, I mean, it's 1:20, and today was actually a good day at work. But I'm still just kind of tired though. I only got like 4.5 hours of sleep. I'm used to getting 6 hours of sleep, man. But you get what I mean though. Like, if you had, one God and one offer of eternity that exceeded everything you ever wanted, with one opponent, would you ask for it? Would you just let it slip? And when I first heard that, the way I see it, I see this as more than just a freaking a parody off the Eminem song. No, like I kind of look deeper into it, because that's the whole point of them pairing this all these songs. It's to kind of like I bring a Christian message into it. Sometimes they're just trying to sometimes they're just trying to play off like a Bible story in a very funny way through via a familiar song or whatever. But in this case, there was actually like a message in it, and so the reason why I bring the song up is because of because the other day, my dad, he called me. I was just chilling, hanging out with some friends. He called me. He said, he really wanted to talk to me about something. He really wanted to, he really wanted to talk to me. So I knew this must have been important. So I broke away for a second. I just continued talking to him, and he was telling me that that he's proud of me, of course, yes, but that like just from just from what he's seeing of me, he feels like I'm not like doing enough. Well, I mean, I don't think that's not necessarily what he means, or because he didn't necessarily say that, but let me just straight up tell you what he said. So he was telling me that and this, it's kind of like and it kind of goes back to I don't think I've ever talked about it on the podcast. So let me tell you this. I know, like, I'm being kind of like, not kind of cryptic or whatever. But no, it's all gonna come together. So just stay with me, bear with me, please. So folks, so church. Ever since I got this freaking, position, freaking when I'm pretty much, waking up in the afternoon and I'm working late at night, I got this, my internal clock, everything is, shifted, freaking, I'm awake, all day and all night, but the problem is I sleep in the mornings, and come Sunday morning, like, how do I fit church into the equation? Well, I gotta sacrifice something. And normally, originally, I said to myself, I'm gonna sacrifice, some nighttime, some of my nighttime, I'm gonna, go to bed at instead of going to bed at freaking 6, Saturday, Sunday morning, to wake up to wake up in time to go to church. So what I would, so I said to myself, I'm gonna go to bed at like maybe like no later than 4 or whatever. Something to where something that'll work out for me. Because here's the thing, 'cause I'm so used to sleeping so late that it's kind of hard for me to actually sleep earlier than 6, unless I'm actually like genuinely tired or whatever. Or sometimes I may need to take a thing of melatonin, or sometimes I need to just drink some freaking NyQuil and just knock me out. But sometimes it don't work, and still, and I mean it's kind of rare that it doesn't work, but there's just those days where it just won't work and I just can't sleep. I have to sleep at a certain time. It's kind of like back when I had just a normal normie sleep schedule where freaking back in my school days, whenever I would wake up at freaking like 6, wake up at 6, 6, 7, somewhere around there, go to school all day, come back home, and freaking in my when I have my bedtime, which would be like freaking 9, I wouldn't be able to sleep at 9 because freaking shoot, even though that was my bedtime, like again, like that's way too damn early for me. I mean, even waking up freaking as early as freaking 5 or 6, and hell, like I remember, like eventually, like into middle and high school, I just started freaking just staying up to like anywhere between 11 and 3 a.m. because I literally just can't sleep at freaking 9. Like maybe as a little kid that might work, but from like as I grew older, like I couldn't sleep at 9. It didn't matter how early I woke up. I just can't sleep at freaking 9, brother. I freaking can't. And it's the same thing here. And it's again, imagine yourself just having a normal schedule. You wake up at freaking like I don't know, you wake up at freaking 8 or something like that. Wake up at 8 and trying to make yourself go to bed at 8 p.m. And I'm talking specifically from the perspective of a young person. Trying to go to bed at freaking 8 p.m. Yeah, like it's not happening, right? It ain't happening. I mean, unless you gotta wake up super early to go somewhere, or unless you got unless you got to get ready for somewhere that or anything like that. Okay, that's fine, but again, realistically, you can't really get yourself to sleep at 8, or at least that's how it's always been for me. Like I can't get myself to sleep earlier than what I'm usually used to. And so going back to now, I'm so used to sleeping, like early in the morning, like at 6 a.m. It's kind of hard for me to sleep earlier. And it just this whole sleep schedule, it would really backfire on me because freaking I'd be sleeping anywhere between 5 and 6 on Sunday mornings. I'm wanting to say freaking Saturday nights, but it's no longer Saturday when it's that early in the morning, but or that late into the morning. But you know what I mean, though. Freaking, I'm freaking sleeping, this early in the morning on Sunday, expecting to wake up freaking like 4 hours later, to get up for church. And here's the thing, like 4 hours of sleep for me, it's like that's the bare minimum that I need to be able to wake up, function normally and stuff like that. That's like the minimum amount of sleep that I actually need. Anything less than that, and I'm just freaking gonna be a zombie all day. Either that, or I'm just gonna be freaking sleepwalking all day. It ain't good for me. And so freaking, and freaking my church, I go to the second service, so I go to 11 a.m. But the thing is that I go to 11 a.m. Let's see, in order to go to 11 a.m., I live like maybe freaking 10 minutes away from the church. But you gotta consider that I work on Sundays too, so I'm not just getting ready for church, I'm also getting ready for work. So I'm over here getting my work bag. I gotta get my stuff. Gotta put my vest in there. I gotta get my lunch. I gotta make sure I look all good and stuff. Not too good, because I mean good enough for church, but not not too good to where freaking I'm having to freaking completely change, as soon as I go to work. No, just like something nice, like a Hawaiian shirt or something like that. Something that's acceptable. Looks good at church, but something that that can easily work in and out of work. You know what I mean? But anyways, so again, I'm having to do all this, and normally, I try to wake up, to get myself the maximum amount of sleep. I wake up at 10:45. But sometimes it's not. But sometimes though, it just doesn't work. Whenever I freaking go to bed at 6:45, yeah. So so I end up being totally miserable in the freaking mornings, and so I'm literally waking up with 15 minutes. Like not even 15 minutes to get ready. 15 minutes away from 11. Like I want, because I want to be in church on time, because I want to be there to worship, I want to be there to, to freaking receive the word of God and stuff like that, and it's freaking, I know it shouldn't be hard for me, but it is kind of hard for me because freaking again, because of my weird sleep schedule, and I'm not disciplined enough. All right. See, shoot, and it might just not even be just a thing. It might not just be a thing of discipline. I mean, sure, yes, discipline plays a really big role. And I think if I had a lot more of it, if I practiced a lot more of it on myself, then I would actually be able to, freaking sleep earlier and then wake up earlier for church and stuff. But I think I think that's like half the deal, and the other half of the deal is my internal clock. It's really hard for me to sleep and stuff. So freaking early. I mean, well, I'm saying 4 a.m. for most of y'all, probably that's like super late, but for me that's like super early. Like 4 a.m. is like my 8 p.m. man. Like I'm telling you. But anyways. So again, the whole sleep thing, and then so I'm waking up at 10:45. I have to get super ready, and I'm having to speed all the way down just so I can make it to church on time. Now, do I have to make it on the dot? No, it's not like I have to freaking clock into church or whatever. But I mean, the whole point is to the whole point is just to be there, because. Here's how church functions. You start off with worship, and now, like, when you actually get into a relationship with God and you start understanding, the Bible and how like an actual relationship, works with God, really, like, freaking worship is very important. It's super important. It's like, because like in any relationship, there's a lot of important things like communication, freaking showing affection, showing care, showing appreciation for each other and such. And, and definitely, worship is definitely like one of the most important things you can do in a relationship with God, because that is how you're showing appreciation to God. You're giving thanks, giving him praise. You're just thanking him for the day you had, for the week you had, and for the good times, for the bad times, for the highs and lows, for the times you grew, for the times you freaking fell, for the times you're freaking, developed as a person, not just throughout the week, not just throughout, the month or just throughout the year or whatever. I'm just talking about like in general, like throughout your entire life, because life is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey, and we're always learning, growing, developing into the final product of who we're supposed to be. And and we give thanks to God. We give him these praises. We give him this worship. Not just as appreciation and stuff, and just pure worship to God, but again, it's pretty much essential, to relationship with him, because if you're just not worshiping him, then what makes God any different than, your homeboy or your freaking mom and dad or your sibling or your grandma or that crazy dude down the street, because God is, God, because God, he ain't a person, he's like a literal deity, so worship is definitely like the one thing, the one relational thing that you give to him that you don't give to anyone else. I don't go over here freaking worshiping my dog, like if he's freaking some god dog or something like that. That's kind of ludicrous, but you get what I mean, though. Like I don't give praise and worship to my supervisor. I don't give praise and worship to my boss, to my dad, to my mom, to my grandma. The only freaking person that I give praise and worship to is Jesus Christ, and that's because he is my God. That's something I can only give to him, and that's the only thing I can give him, because God gives me everything. God gives us everything, but what can we, mankind, what can we give to God? Absolutely nothing except for freaking worship, because what can you give God that God doesn't already have, or that God needs, or whatever? God doesn't need anything from us, but he desires that we give worship to him. And again, worship is just super important. It's more, it's deeper than just singing songs. As repetitive as they may be, or at least the church I go to. I go to one of those modern non-denominational churches. Really, if you really look at it, it's just a branch of Protestantism, and in the whole modern thing to where, let's sing some Chris Tomlin songs where we repeat the chorus like 10,000 times or whatever. really different from the Gregorian chants that they, that they sing over there in Catholic churches or whatever. But anyways, it goes deeper than just freaking, singing songs on the screen. You're giving your praise and worship to God, I loved how my worship pastor, Pastor Tyler, I really loved how he, talked about this one time. We're in the middle of worship, and in the middle of a song, he gives this like quick little worship sermon, and he was telling the congregation that, worship, worshiping in the church, worship music, that's like, it's like a, it's like a card. It's kind of like, when you give your mom a Mother's Day card, when you give your dad a Father's Day card, or whenever you give your spouse, a freaking anniversary card. You buy the Hallmark card, to show the Hallmark card exists. It's kind of like a template. It has that little cheesy little "I love you" line or whatever on it, and and it looks all pretty. And sometimes it may have a little freaking beautiful poem, and your girl loves it. She adores it. But you don't just give your girl a freaking anniversary card or a birthday card or whatever, with nothing written in it or with nothing put into it, right? I mean, no, freaking, or a better example, you don't just go to a kid's birthday party and just give him a freaking birthday card with absolutely nothing written in it, with no money in it. Like, it's literally just a freaking card. He just opens it up, freaking, there's just some pictures of animals or something like that, and it just says "Happy Birthday," and like there's literally nothing else. You didn't write nothing in it, you didn't put no money in it. You don't go and do that. No. Like, when you give someone a birthday card on their birthday, no, you write some, even if it's something as simple as "Happy Birthday," Josh or Mark, or I'm just coming up with different names here, but you get what I mean. You write your own little thing. Some, for some people, like, like your grandma, she, and your birthday cards, she might write some, like, "I love you, you're the best in the world," or something like that. You get what I mean. And then when you receive a birthday card, you open it up and there's money in there, because again, the card exists as just a template, and likewise in church, the worship song, the worship music, the words on the screen and stuff, it just exists as a template. Now, like, what God is, sure, God really does he appreciates us, freaking singing the words on the screen. He appreciates us, singing to him. But what's really important, what he's actually looking for, the whole, like, the beef and potatoes of this thing, like, what he was really looking for is what we put into it ourselves. Because when you actually realize that, worship is more, it goes beyond the whole freaking God's a good father, God is a good father, God is a good father, God is a good father. Like, you gotta realize that it goes beyond, just the freaking, plain chorus or of a song, or just the plain lyrics. It goes beyond just the lyrics themselves. It's what you put into it. Because when you get into the heat of the moment, and when you're just in that zone of worship, you're giving God all these kind of praises, outside of the normal lyrics of the song. Freaking, in my case, like, I'm over here freaking, like, I'm singing other lyrics to other songs, like a lot of them that we don't even sing in church, just giving praise to God, freaking, I give God, I start telling him my thanks and stuff, and I say prayers over, over everybody. I say prayers over the people at work, over the people at home, over myself, of my friends and family, like, again, it's worship is just an essential, it's essential presentation. More than just a presentation. It's an essential, like, I don't know what to say. Entity, well, not entity, but you get what I mean, though. It's an important function of a relationship with God. It's like probably the biggest thing that differentiates, the biggest thing that differentiates your relationship with God than relationship with people. Because again, you don't go around freaking, shouting your praises to, people or whatnot. I mean, why the hell should I freaking, praise and worship Jerry down the street? I mean, there's no freaking reason why to. But I got every single reason, billions, trillions, if not more, infinite, reasons to, to give all my praise and worship to God, and that's really important. And, when I'm over here, struggling to get there on time, I'm really missing, that essential part of church. I mean, there's a reason why that worship is the first thing to do at church, because it's the most important thing, it's what we give, to God. It's, again, it's like the whole, like, it's like the holy part of a relationship with the Holy One. It's really damn important. No, again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, but I'm just emphasizing that, that's how it be, man. It's just how it be. And I'm over here, I can't get to church on time. Like, I'm missing that. And yes, I don't have to be at church to worship God. I can just hit the live stream and I can worship Him in my room like I did in quarantine. Or I can always just be doing it in the car. I could be doing it at work. I could be doing it at in my room, like right now as I'm podcasting or whatever. I can do it at any time. But there is nothing else like worshiping God at His house with fellow believers, just all in one accord, singing their praises to God. It's so much different. It's like, if you want another perspective, imagine, you're over here, you're listening to freaking your favorite artist, on the radio. But listening to your artist on the radio or on Spotify on your headphones or through a Bluetooth speaker while you're working out or something like that, it's much more different to listen to your favorite artists live on concert on stage than it is, to be listening to them, on your headphones or on your speaker in your car or whatever. There's a big freaking difference there. I mean, sure, essentially you're doing the same thing. You're listening to, to a certain artist, sing a certain song or whatever, but the experience is different. Because in one case, it's very mundane. The other case, it's something bigger. It's something greater. And that's the way I see worship. Because again, I don't have to be at church, to worship God. I mean, sure, I can worship on all the time, throughout the freaking day. Every single freaking day. It doesn't even have to be on a freaking Sunday. But it's something. There's some bigger, some greater, when you actually do it in the house of God, when when your heart is just full of sincerity and you're just giving Him that praise, it's beautiful, it's an experience almost. And that's a really important thing, and that's something I've been missing for a while, because I hadn't been disciplining myself, to freaking, readjust my sleep schedule, or at least for freaking Saturday nights, Sunday mornings, so I can actually wake up on time, have enough time to get ready for work and church and be able to to get there in time. So there's my thing, so that's why so that's why it's worship is important in church, and that's why that's my freaking little. That's what the whole beginning or the foundational issue is here. Because I'm over here, and it's not just a recent thing, or it's not a new thing, or whatever. No, it's something that's been going on for quite a long while. Like I'm talking about freaking about 2 years, ish. Yeah, 2 years ish. It's been going on. Well, maybe probably not that long. Maybe like a year and a half, or actually, around 2 years. We're in June now, right? Yeah, we're in June now. So that's So it's So it has been about 2 years. But anyways, and again, so I'm always, and I'm not just showing up late for church. I'm showing up late. I'm not just showing up like 5 minutes late or 2 minutes late or whatever. No, I'm showing up freaking like 30 minutes late, where I'm just completely missing worship. And sometimes freaking I can't get myself to wake up at 10:45, and then I end up waking at damn near freaking not midnight. No, that would be way too damn long for me to sleep. But I'm like, I wake up at damn near freaking noon. It's like freaking 11:57. Freaking I gotta go to work in an hour, and I'm like, oh, what the hell, man? Like I completely missed church. I mean, technically church isn't until freaking 12:30, but I mean, if I'm that late, might as well just not go at all, right? By that point, just turn on the live stream and just get ready for work. But still, I mean, But still, I mean, it's been going on for a while, and what makes it even worse is that I volunteer at the church. I operate the cameras. I mean, it's a simple little thing. Operate the cameras. I mean, basically, you're just following the pastor around, making sure that stays on screen for the sake of the people in the church who are looking at the screens, and as well as for the live stream and such. But still, like, as simple as it is, it's an important service, a service within the service that a lot of people apparently just don't want to do. Apparently I'm like the only person available to do it, and whenever I don't show up, like, how does that make me look, to them? How does that how does that make me look, whenever freaking I make a commitment saying, yeah, freaking, I'm going to do this for you, and I end up showing up really really late to it, or I don't even show up at all to do it. How does that make me look? It makes me look an arsehole. So it makes me look like a jerk, man. So I mean, it's again. So for a while, I've been wanting to fix this, but again, the lack of discipline, freaking. And don't get me wrong, this is heavy in my heart. And this is, it's especially in my dad's heart, which I probably will probably expand more in the second part, seeing how late we are into this first part. But anyways, again, there's that whole problem, and actually, I like freaking this Sunday, this past Sunday, a couple of days ago, I got so pissed, man, because freaking because here's the thing, but right, because literally just the last 2 weeks right before the stay-at-home order, to where we had to do church live stream, like, man, I was doing better. Freaking, I was coming in, I was coming in closer to on time, freaking, like, and actually freaking, the Sunday before the whole freaking shutdown, freaking, like, I came in like almost exactly on time. I was like, hell yeah, freaking, I can get my praise on, get my praise and worship on. I can get, I can finally, fully, and thrive myself into this really important, venture. And freaking the stay-at-home order hits and kind of throws me off, because now that I'm actually having to worry about going somewhere, that again, I'm over here just not really caring whether I wake up or not, because again, I could just freaking wake up and watch the freaking sermon or whatever. And so then freaking here, I mean, so the church is reopened. It's been reopened for for like, I think 3 weeks now, for almost a month now. And it's pretty damn cool, but I'm still coming in freaking late, brother. And this freaking Sunday, like, I got so pissed, man. Like, I set up my alarm to wake me up at freaking 10:30. And what did I do? I ended up freaking waking up at freaking 11 something. Like, it was it was like 11:30 something, or it was like 11:27. But again, though, like, I've already done missed the entire worship part, and again, like, the whole, like, the man. So I missed worship, and I did promise to operate the cameras that day, but I came in late. So freaking, and actually I felt so bad that I didn't even show up to the cameras. So I saw the guy that normally who I normally talk to about it. He was up there doing it, and I know, like, normally he doesn't do it on second service, because he's got more important things to do, or not, or yeah, he's got more important things to do, or he's got, like, or sometimes he relies on me, to help him, like, kind of release himself from church, because he's already done first service, he's got to do something else, outside of church or whatever. And I'm over here, like, I'm being kind of irresponsible here, man. Like, when I woke up, man, I was just freaking cussing myself out, man. Like, I was dropping every single bomb on myself. I was beating myself up about it, and freaking, and again, I wasn't being responsible, because literally because that Saturday night, I was hanging out with my boy Leslie for like until like freaking 2 a.m, or 1 something in the morning, and then freaking I came home, and again, naturally coming home, I'm not tired, so I'm just freaking doing whatever, not even thinking about church. And then I didn't think about church till like the last freaking minute, and then I'm over here freaking just getting mad at myself for waking up late, and I'm like, I gotta stop this. And I really got to, So now I came up with a new plan, and I'm gonna, let's see. And this plan, I'm really going to force myself. Like, this time, no games, no bullshits, no none, no excuses. No ifs, whats, or buts about it. I got this plan, and I'm gonna hate it. I'm really gonna freaking hate it. But you know what though? Discipline ain't pretty. It don't feel good. But if it helps me, it helps. Like my old saying that I say all the time at work. If it works, it works. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explain it here in the second part. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up? I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to Anchor. Now, it's a free app with many creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and computer. Now, the great thing about Anchor is not only is it free, but also it will distribute your podcast for you. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more websites, which is awesome for me because I know a lot of people that use Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So just knowing that my 3 a.m. thoughts can be heard on their favorite listening sites, it's all Gucci here, man. So it can also make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you very much. Let's go. Hello, welcome back. Okay, so my awesome, significant plan to to discipline myself more and to actually give me to wake up early on time for church. So I decided why the hell not freaking just make Saturday my new retarded day. Now, freaking hear me out. This is why I call it a retarded day. So back, way back in freaking, even way back when it were before I used to go to church and stuff like that. Like just in general, freaking as a kid growing up, I hated Sundays. Like I absolutely hated Sundays because it was a weekend. It was it was the day I had off. But I still had to sleep early. I hated it. I loved Fridays because because I got to stay up late. I didn't because after school I can do whatever I want. And then Saturday it was my favorite day of the week because again I was completely off and I could stay as late as I want to because I got nothing going on. And then there's Sunday. Freaking nothing but Sundays would be just so boring. Even when me and my fam started going to church, it would just be so boring. After church, I end up be doing nothing. Nothing would just be going on. And when they moved the youth group to Sunday nights, that kind of ended the boringness. But before they did that, though, some Sundays would just be so boring. There's nothing going on, just freaking and then on top of that we're gonna have to sleep early, and I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep early, I don't want to go to school freaking the next morning, whatever. I hated it, so I always called Sunday retarded Sundays. I hated Sundays because I had to sleep early. But then I'm over here, I'm like, you know what, let's bring the retarded days back. Instead of staying up to 6 every goddamn day, why not freaking just go to bed at freaking midnight, at freaking Saturday nights. Now hear me out. I know I said earlier that it's hard for me to sleep past freaking it's hard for me to sleep before freaking 6 a.m. But you know what though, I'm gonna force myself to sleep. I even have to jug an entire damn bottle of freaking NyQuil, or an entire down an entire bottle of freaking melatonin pills or melatonin drink. I don't care what I don't care what the hell I had to do. I'm making sure that my freaking horse is getting to bed at freaking midnight, no later. No earlier, but no later, especially no later. Damn, and it's gonna be on the dot too, because if I'm disciplining myself, might as well be more strict with it, because the more strict with it I am with it, the more structured I will be, so and again I already discussed with my boy Leslie, on Saturday nights I ain't staying till freaking 2 a.m. no more. I'm it's gonna be cut real short. I'm literally gonna I'm disbanding with y'all at 10 I'm gonna be back here and spend the entire 11 o'clock hour just getting ready for work and church, taking my shower, making sure I'm getting ready for bed and stuff, and myself is gonna be in freaking bed at 12 at freaking midnight, and then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna wake up at freaking anywhere between 8 and 9:45. I'm making sure I have the entire freaking 10 o'clock hour to get to get ready if I even need to get ready anymore. Freaking, because you know what? Because I'm tired of freaking not being completely awake. I'm tired of not freaking. I'm tired of freaking waking up at 10:45 and I barely have enough time to even get to church. Much less get ready and get to freaking church. I hate it. So you know what? I gotta discipline myself. I gotta force myself to sleep earlier, so I can wake up earlier, and so I can finally stop the whole freaking going late to church thing. And it's gonna be hell. This Sunday is when I'm trying it out, and you know what? Or this Saturday, really, because I'm going to bed early Saturday. And it's not like I go to parties or anything on Saturday, so it's not like I have to worry, about missing anything. And plus, the rest of the family usually sleeps, around that same time on freaking Saturdays anyway. So it's not like the house is gonna be noisy. Or typically they don't freaking stay up that late. I mean, shoot, they'll stay up to freaking 3 a.m. on a freaking work night when they have when they freaking have to get up at freaking. Well, my dad will stay up to 3 a.m. on a freaking work night, and he has to wake up at 5, and he's wondering why. Oh, why am I so tired? Or my freaking mom should be up around the same time at 3 a.m. and having to freaking wake up at 5, and she's like, oh, why am I so tired? But when it comes to Saturday nights, they're in bed by freaking midnight. They're not up out and about at 3 a.m. No, they're in bed. Fully instilled in bed. And that's what I'm gonna be doing too. Again, I'm gonna hate it. Saturday's gonna be the new retarded day. But you know what? I can't be lenient with myself no more. I gotta combat this. And again, that's just like the foundation of my problem there. Again, for this entire reason of the podcast. So I know the entire first half was about freaking worship and it was about my little issue waking up on time to freaking go to church and all that. But again, that's just the foundational issue. That kind of leads up to what my dad wanted to talk to me about. So okay. So I got that whole big old thing out of the water. I promise I'm gonna try not to make every little detail that freaking I'm not gonna try to make every single freaking little detail that in depth. I mean, if I will do it if I need to, and I will even make a third segment if I need to. But you know what? I'm gonna try to fit everything else into this little segment here. But anyways, so again, the whole foundational issue, what my dad wanted to talk about to me, it starts up with that because he noticed whenever I came in at freaking 11:30, that Sunday, it was like 11:37. So the pastor was already kind of already knee deep into the sermon already. So so I'm over here freaking feeling all bad. I was like, damn, he freaking saw me. I know he's gonna chew me out later about this, and again, as a leader, as someone who takes responsibility for things, and as someone who can get up, you can get up at a good time and, get ready for work and stuff like that. Why can't I do the same, for church? If I can make sure, again, I'll wake up later, but again, nonetheless, I can wake myself up at 12:45 and make sure I'm on the road to get to work at 1, or at least be on the road at 1. To make it to work at 1 something. I'm able to do that, but I can't freaking get myself to wake up at 12:45. At 10:45 and freaking be on the road to get to church at 11 or possibly earlier or whatever. It's an annoying little thing, And the weird thing is actually no, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent here. I promised that I would try to keep keep this conversation focused. So sorry, but this time I gotta resist. I got to resist, but I gotta resist the urge to go off on a tangent. But anyways, so moving forward, so he noticed this past Sunday that I came into church late, and so. Yesterday, at the time of this recording, 2 days ago, because it was on Monday when I was hanging out with the boys. He called me up. So I broke away from them for a second. He was just talking to me on the phone. He was telling me that he's proud of me and stuff. He's a bit concerned, because he sees that, for the longest time, I mean, I'm showing up to church late, and again, and I'm over here saying that, I'm going to be working in ministry someday, so I should be like the last person, coming in. I'm sure to be like the last person to be coming in late to church, first of all, and then second of all, like again, he started telling me about the whole worship deal. Again, I'm over here having a relationship with God, but I'm not really doing a good job of it if I can't even get the most like the most sacred aspect of a relationship. If I can't even come up and face it myself, I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. Again, I'm kind of tired. It's 2:03 a.m. Again, it was a good day of work and stuff, but again, 4 hours of sleep, I'm kind of, no, not tipsy, but you know what I mean. I'm kind of tired, but I'm probably not gonna end up going to bed till like freaking 7 anyways. But anyways, back to the topic. So I'm over here. So he's over here. Yeah. So again, so he's again, I'm over here. I'm not in the position to be, coming into late, at the church. Again, worship is important, and I'm missing that, and I've been missing that for the longest damn time. And he was telling me that, he was telling me, he just, he was very concerned for me, saying that, he was also I forgot some of the things he said, but I remember like somehow the conversation ended up, or what he was telling me, it kind of led into this little point here. So he was saying that, like again, he has no problem with me, staying at his house, for as long as I need to, for as long as I want, as long as I'm not being a freaking bum, as long as I'm, over here paying my rent, as I'm going to work, as I'm freaking doing whatever. Like, shoot, I don't, like, he doesn't even care. Or I mean, well, not that he doesn't care, but I'm saying that it's not of the, but here, like, again, he cares, but it's not, but it's gonna, okay, so it's gonna sound bad, but hear me out here. So he doesn't even care if I don't even go to school. Again, he cares that I do, and if I do, I will. But again, like, he doesn't even care if I if I don't even go to school, like if I just work at Walmart, for freaking most of my life or something like that, as long as I'm not being a freaking filthy bum, just mooching off his house, like again, he doesn't mind if I don't go to school or whatever. I'm just working for the rest of my life. Like he don't mind, like not in the bit of slightest. But he tells me that, like I can't just, I can't just be in the same position all my life, and he was telling me that, he feels that, I'm just really comfortable in this position I'm in, and that, I have really no motivation or no aspirations or no like drive, to move forward. I'm just comfortable where I'm at right now, and partially that is true. I like where I'm at right now. It's not the best, it ain't the worst, but I really like it. But am I gonna stay in this position forever? No. Because I got a plan for my life. I'm following God's plan for my life. God wants me to work in the ministry, and specifically, I truly believe it on my heart. It's worship ministry. So again, it's even more ironic that I'm over here, missing worship at church. But anyways, so I feel called to, I remember the day I got saved. God called me to, to be in worship ministry, and so, and again, for the longest time, me, denying that, after a while, I finally accepted it, because I realized that, that was like in my heart, that was my true passion, and that, and again, I need to work at it, shoot, and he I don't have corona, but anyways, so he didn't tell me, what I was going, like, he didn't tell me how I was going to get to that position. All he told me was, that's where I'm going to go. And however I get there, I got to find that out for myself, and obviously, seeing where I'm at right now, it's definitely, not happening the way I thought it was gonna happen. Because again, I thought it was gonna be like, oh shoot, I'm gonna freaking be an avid class for all 4 years in high school. I'm gonna be freaking, I'm gonna be just like all the normie kids. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna make all straight A's in high school. Then I'm gonna go to college for 4 years, and then after 4 years of college, of 2 years of community college, and 2 years of university, I am gonna be on my road. I'm gonna move out of my parents' house somehow, financially, somehow with me being in student debt, and then I am going to freaking work in my career. Yeah, just like every other freaking Disney Channel high school freaking picture perfect looking high schooler I worked with. So again, I thought I was gonna be just like those normie kids, what they're doing, but you know what? Things didn't turn out that way. Things they're not unexpected. Freaking, like some stuff happened, which I'll get into in a later date because I don't want to freak. Well, actually I could talk about it here. So right out of high school, I got into a car wreck, which kind of really set me back financially. So I had to work, to kind of work my way to get in a car again, and see, and even then, the entire unorthodoxy, kind of started there, because after that, I decided I wanted to take a gap year. My parents didn't like it, and I had to find some way to get past them, doing it. So I did eventually end up doing it, but then freaking so then freaking after being pressured and forced, horribly forced and pressured into freaking doing it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make you shut your damn mouths, my parents. I'm gonna make you shut your damn mouths. I'm gonna sign up I'm gonna sign up for my first freaking year in the university I wanted to go to, which was Northwest University. Get some of my Bible classes out of the way, and it was it actually pretty much sucked, because freaking with an entire year of not being in school and just focusing on work, man, I wasn't ready, to embrace the whole school, the whole school, not ecosystem, the whole school environment again. I wasn't ready. Because I totally forgot how it was, and plus it was all online too. So all the accountability had to, I had to be accountable for myself. And on top of that, I have ADHD, which if I'm not in the actual classroom setting and stuff like that, it's gonna be hard for me to to get myself to freaking learn, to freaking pay attention to stuff like that, to actually make sure I get my assignments done and on time and such, and. It's much easier to do so when you're actually in a classroom environment, when you're actually, interacting with people and stuff. Because I remember freaking, despite having ADHD, freaking my senior year of high school, I didn't even need to take my damn ADHD pill, because I was able to just do everything just fine on my own. And I believe. Even if I did take this freaking online university thing, literally the next semester after graduating high school, I probably would have actually done a lot better. But anyways, that's not the point. What I'm saying is that a lot of stuff happened, and freaking things are not happening the way I think, and and again, and that's fine and all, because I don't need to be freaking doing what everybody else is doing. I don't need to be doing it the way they're doing it. Exactly, picture by picture, freaking step by step, freaking everything by everything, to freaking get to where I need to be. Because again, because God told me I'm going to get where I'm going to be. It may not happen the way I think it is, but you know what? It's going to happen. And right now, I know I'm in a season right now where I'm right here, I'm right here, working at Walmart, freaking. So again, I have a lot of free time at the moment because I'm just going to work and I have 3 days off. I don't have any homework or anything like that to really worry about. I pay all my bills. I buy my own groceries. I hang out with my friends. I walk my dogs. Freaking, I do. I do all this stuff. I'm kind of a busy guy, and but. I'm a busy guy, but at the same time I got all this free time, and I like it here. But you know what? I know it ain't permanent, because I know at some point even within this plan that God has for me, I even got my own plans. Because again, it's like that freaking verse in James. Faith without works is dead. So I have faith that God has His plan for me, and that I'm going to get there somehow. But that just believing in that plan ain't enough. It's worth nothing if I don't put my own work into it. But that's why I had to come up with my own little plan. So my plan was, because because again, and my dad was, he was concerned that, again, I was just going to be, in the same position in the same area for all my life, and again, that's not what I want, and certainly that's not what he wants. And he was telling me, there's no reason why, I shouldn't be able to, get my own house right now. I mean, well, first of all, that's kind of not financially possible. But I think what he meant was that, there's no reason why I can't, get a freaking supervisor or a management position and have my own place by now. And and be able to, and on top of that, whenever I get my own place, I should be, as a man, I should be able to know how to do things and such, so in any time that, you know in any time I see an opportunity to learn something, like freaking replacing the damn floors, like, or doing the crown molding, or whatever in a freaking house, I should be learning that. And he's been doing a lot of like remodeling inside the house. I think that's why he specifically said that. And but here's the thing, uh, when it comes to me and my dad, like we're very different. Like I don't really care, like to change the house up. Like if I really want to, I mean, again, there is nothing that I can't. There's nothing, that I can't learn for myself and do for myself. I don't. I like, again. Well, I mean, it's preferably I would love to have someone teach me and stuff like that. But I mean, if he's doing and learning everything from YouTube, then why? There's no reason why I can't do the same. And plus, I mean, I don't have that same passion to freaking remodel an entire house just because it don't look beautiful, freaking whatever. Again, I'm more of a decorational guy. If I think a house looks boring, or I don't think it looks good enough, I mean, I'll put decorations up. I'll make it look, I'll pimp it out. I'll make it look cool. Make it look fly. But anyways, back to the topic. So, but anyways, he was saying that, again, he knows that I don't want kids, and freaking, as far as he knows, well, yeah, as far as he knows, and shoot, even as of right now, my current feelings and stuff like that, I I don't want to get married, kind of don't, that's still very debatable within me, because, well, that's for another, that topic's for another episode. But anyways, I don't want kids, and at the moment, I don't really care about, getting married. So again, I have all this opportunity all this time, so I got nothing to lose, so why shouldn't I be able to take steps, forward and such, why shouldn't I be able to, make some moves, make some big moves, freaking, get, score a better job, make some more money, get a house, do all this kind of stuff. And I get what he means, not just to stay in this business forever. And trust me, I am not going to stay in this business forever. Like, trust me, I'm literally by this point, the reason why I am still here, because even after getting a new supervisor and stuff like that, the reason why there's a couple of reasons why is that I'm still here at Walmart, and it's because, like by this point, I like, if I'm even looking to get like. I mean, either there's a possibility I could be getting could get a supervisor position. Either it could be in the back room or somewhere else, or freaking I might even try it for a management position. I like, shoot, like, if the opportunity comes up, I'll take the necessary steps needed, to seize those opportunities. Because you know what? Because for my plan for myself, like if I'm like in 2023, if I'm still here, if I'm still here at Walmart, I'm still making $12 an hour. Like I'm still making that much money. Like which is minimum wage in Walmart. If I'm still making minimum wage in Walmart, if I still hadn't become a supervisor, if I still hadn't become a manager, or if I just hadn't leveled up, in any single way, by 2023, I would have 5 years of forklift experience, and I'm getting my rear out of that store. I'm leaving that store. I'm going to a warehouse. I'm going to somewhere, where I can actually either get more experience for stuff, or to where I can actually start making more money just off the base job. What I'm going to do. Because again, the final plan that God wants me to do is work in worship ministry. But you know what though? Chewy, he never gave me a time frame. He never told me how I was gonna get there. So for all I know, I could be freaking managing. I could be managing a retail, or I could be freaking supervise. You be a supervisor in a warehouse or something like that. Until then, you never know. Yeah, and besides, I don't know how long either. So I'm making my own plans. I'm making my own plans within this plan to work my way to the final product, to work the final area where God wants me to be. And once I get to that point, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, and God will tell me what I need to do when I get to that point. So I'm not worried about what I'm going to do when I get to that point. What I'm worried about right now is right now. What am I going to be doing right now, and as well as I'm thinking about the next 5 years. And I'm really, I'm thinking about, when I say 2023, that's 3 years from now. But you get what I mean. So by 2023, I'm gonna be 25. I'm gonna be 25, and I don't want to be 25 and still be working a minimum wage job, and not have leveled up in any significant way. I don't want that for myself. And from when I'm 26. Originally it was 30 or 27 or 30, but you know what? I'm resetting the limit, or I'm resetting the deadline at 26. Now, when I'm 26, by that point where I'm pretty much paying for everything for myself, phone bill, insurance, my health, my car, everything. I mean, I pretty much pay for most of my stuff anyways, but by then I should be definitely be paying for absolutely everything. and so by that point, I don't give a damn. I'm moving out of my parents' house, because you know what? I don't give a damn if this is your situation or whatever. This is just me and my own feelings. Like, it feels very, very wrong to me, to be still living at home. Even now, like, I remember when the day I turned 18, I wanted to move out because I mean, not just because I just didn't like my mom or whatever. I mean, that was part of the reason, but the reason why I wanted to move out is because, again, I'm 18. I'm an adult now. I got to be acting like one. I don't want to be a kid no more. That I may not be. Not age-wise, I may not be a kid, but I don't want to be mentally. I don't want to be a kid. Freaking financially, I don't want to be a kid. I don't want to be freaking dependent on anything. As an adult, I feel like I must do everything for myself. And and again, there's no problem with receiving help from people, but I feel like I'm being a burden. I don't want that, and I don't want to be a burden. And plus, I want to be in control of my own life. Again, I give God the control, but whatever I can control, I want to control. That's why, whenever I go on trips, when I go to trips, or when I say trips, I mean just car rides or whatever. I want to be the driver, and I want to be the one picking everybody up. I want to be the one driving to the place. I mean, hell, even if me and my parents are going to a particular place, I will still bring my own car, because again, because I like to be in control. I like to say, hey, I brought myself here. I didn't take a handout or anything like that. And that's the thing. I appreciate them, but I don't necessarily like hand me outs or help me outs. Like, again, very much appreciated. I mean, I'm very thankful for for those of y'all who give me a helping hand on things, or who helped a brother out. Whenever I was low or didn't have money, and then you bought food for me. Again, I appreciate that. I love you for it. I'm not bashing on anyway, but I'm just saying that I feel like as an adult that I should be doing everything for myself. So again, even as simple things as having help at work. Again, I appreciate it, I don't mind it, but at the same time, like, even as simple as that, I like to do things. I like to do things myself. Like, I don't know, that's just the way I am. I don't know why. I think that's another reason why I kind of don't want to get married, because I just feel like I feel like I can do a life of my own. I mean, it's probably not the best mindset to be in, but again, this is kind of how I am. Well, it looks like I am going to be making the third segment, because I'm I'll probably wrap things up in the next segment. And don't worry, it's not going to be 30 minutes long. Don't worry, probably might be 10. But anyways, So again, and so and when I say 26, again, I wanted to move out at 18, but I think with my head, I'm not like, unlike my dad, I don't do things based on my feelings, I don't let my feelings, freaking do the talking or do the thinking or do whatever. I use my brain, I use logic, and that's something that I picked up from my mom. It's funny. My mom uses her brains to to make decisions. My dad uses his feelings. You would think it would be the reverse, but so anyways, again, as again at 18, I wanted to move out. I really, really wanted to, but I knew I didn't have no job. I didn't have no money coming in. I was still in school. Like there was no possible way I could move out. I mean, except for I could just physically just say, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm leaving. Don't pay for my phone no more. Don't pay for my food. Don't pay for nothing for me anymore. Don't even give me new clothes up for my. Don't even buy me new clothes or anything like that. I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna just get out and physically walk out of the house and just live in the trash can down the street. Again, I could just physically move out of the house, but as far as actually getting my own place and living on my own, actually living, yeah, that's something that I knew I couldn't feasibly do at the time. And even to now, well, I mean, I could possibly do it now, but it would be really, really, hard. It'd be really hard, and I'd kind of be struggling a lot. But shoot, but even if I'm still at that point, at 26 years old, by that point, I really don't care. I'm moving out. Because here's the thing, I don't want to be freaking 30 years old or almost 30 years old living at home with my parents. I mean, even if I'm going to work, I'm paying rent, I'm doing all this stuff, still, I feel like as an adult, especially being almost freaking 30 years old, that a grown freaking man, a grown ass man should not be freaking living at home. I'm sorry if you're doing that, but I mean that's the way I think. Please don't take offense, but if you do, just hey, I mean that's the way I think. And really think about it. Does it seem really weird for a freaking grown man to be freaking living at home with his parents like a damn kid? I mean, shoot, even if he's working and doing stuff, but still, it just seems very, very freaking weird, man. Weird. All right, so here we go, and the last segment of the podcast. So yeah, so anyways, I don't want to be freaking 30 years old and still be living here. I'm dead serious, man. To me, that just looks not just weird. It just I don't know. Okay, so again, I don't necessarily think of you if you're living in this kind of situation. I'm not necessarily thinking of you this way, but whenever I see a grown ass man freaking living with his parents, all I see is a loser, and again, I'm not going to necessarily see you as that, but at first glance, whenever I see that, I'm going to think loser. I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to be someone, just living a mundane existence, freaking not making anything of himself. And that's what my dad is concerned about me for. I completely get that. And I guarantee him, I don't care how much I struggle. I don't care if I do have to freaking live in a trash can or whatever. Hell, I don't give a damn if I have to do what freaking my character Desmond have to do. And oh man, I got to live in the freaking hotel, man. I got to rent the same room every single day, man, with a little bit of money that I had. And I got to live with all the roaches and all the freaking prostitutes having sex in the nearby rooms, man. Even if I have to do that, man, even if I have to freaking do that, I will. I don't give a damn. I will do what I need to do to just get out of here. Again. Freaking, I don't give a damn by that point. Freaking 26, still living with my folks, man. Freaking, okay, well, that's not 30, and it's in the late 20s, but it ain't 30. But I still, again, though, because then if I know that if I don't make any moves and I'm 26, then I'm gonna be too damn lazy to make any moves when I'm almost 30, man. I mean, just being straight up with you, man. And trust me, freaking, and then get this, 26, that's next to 27, and by 27 years old, man, I've seen so many 27-year-olds, and they've already got their stuff together, and like they some of them, they've already started families, already, some of them got wife and kids, some like freaking pretty much all of them have their own homes and stuff like that. Shoot, some of them have the freaking full-on 2-story houses and stuff, and that's amazing, that's great and all. And I mean, maybe not all of us 27-year-olds can do that, but you know what though, freaking again, like by 27, I feel like that's like by that point you're like a true, like, right, you should be a true grown up, like a kid, you're an adult at 18, but you're not truly a grown up until you eventually get to that point to where you're just completely independent, you're doing well for yourself, and you're being successful in all you do. Shoot, there's gonna be some highs and lows, you may not be entirely successful, but you know what though, freaking by and I feel like at 27, it's around that age, and with all the people around that age, where again, yeah, like by that point they should have no excuse to not be grown-ups, and I want to be a grown-up, man. I'm an adult, but I want to be a grown-up. I don't want to be freaking, again, staying here for the rest of my life. And I'm certainly not going to be sitting in this position all my life. Like, again, 2023, I'm not 25. If things are still the same, I'm going to make them change. Hell, I'm going to make them freaking change. Like, I'm making sure that I'm going to be making more money. And then by 26, I'm moving out. And I damn well hope that I have enough money to, like, at least afford a small apartment, if not something more. I mean, goddamn, man. It's again, and I was really stressing them to that. That again, like, certainly don't worry about me on that. Like, again, I get your concern, but again, like, I am comfortable where I'm at right now, but I ain't staying here. Like, I truly know that this is just a season of my life here. This is just a little bit of a season of my life. And as I go to school, as I get my education going on, and as I continue to save up money, as I continue to work, as I continue to level up in this world slowly but surely, even if it seems still, even if I'm not going at the quickest pace, even if it does take me to where I'm 30 years old to finally get all my schooling done. Like, slow and steady wins the race, brother. Like, as long as I'm actually working, making moves, doing what I can, actually putting work into my faith, again, as long all of it is going towards the plan God has set forth for me, which is the work in ministry. And again, with down the line, I may have to struggle. I may have to be a freaking warehouse guy. I may have to be a freaking manager. I may have, I may even have to go an entirely different path for a little while. Like, I may be a freaking I don't know, maybe working at UPS or FedEx or the post office, or maybe freaking doing whatever. I may be working at an airplane factory. Maybe I'll be freaking working at whatever. Like, again, like, it don't freaking matter, man. Like, as long as I'm making moves, it's slowly, even if it's slowly but surely, like, I'm making sure that I'm going to do it, and all it's going to lead to the final product that God has set forth for me. And by that point, I know that from there I can truly complete the purpose that God has set forth for me. And hell, I think even the path that I'm taking now, could also be a part of God's plan, purpose for my purpose, in which I believe, and I'm speculating that my purpose is to not just give God the worship and be a great worshiper and lead others to worship, but I also believe that God's purpose for me is to lead others to Him. I mean, again, generally speaking, I think that's everybody's purpose, but I think, like, especially, like, more emphasized on me, I think that's something that God wants me to do. And you know what? Along the way, I may actually do it, because everywhere I go, I meet new people. I make new connections and stuff. And shoot, I'm always talking to people, and people are always talking to me. So later, I may lead a person or two into God, throughout this mission, my mission to get to the end where God needs me to go. And again, it's all good and fine. Again, even if it takes long, I'm going to get there. Again, like with my dad, he he really expects things to go like fast. He really likes things to be fast paced. He doesn't like taking he doesn't like taking long on things. Like he wants things to be as quick as possible. Again, as also it roots down to him like freaking doing things off of feelings, not reason. Yeah, he does things off of feeling and not reason. Again, like for example, this like the reason why I'm recording this, in Laporte, in this house that we're living in, because originally we're living in Deer Park. It was a little one-story house in Deer Park, and we were pretty content living there, like freaking. It was big enough for all of us. It's not like we're cramped or whatever. It was a pretty little house, and again, 5 of us living in there. I mean, it only had 3 bedrooms, but hell, like we converted the dining room into a bedroom for my grandma, and things were going fine, okay. But you know what though? But my dad, like he just had this feeling like, oh, I just really want to move to this other house. But you know what? Like. 2023, we can, we're gonna move out. We're gonna, because we're gonna take this time, to kind of save up money, to get a plan going, and we're gonna move out, and live in a different house. But then all of a sudden, that like literally 2 weeks later, okay, hurry, pack your things. We're moving out now. We're like we need a house empty. We're gonna remodel everything. We're gonna make it look good, and we're gonna sell it. Like right now. Hurry, get yourself and get out. And I'm like, what the hell? And then this whole freaking house drama happened in freaking 2018. And I mean that summer was pretty great. We were living in a freaking halfway house, and it was all good. Hell, even that same summer, there was some of the best times I had in the back room with the back room boys. But anyways, so back to the main topic, man. He does things based off feeling, and not by logical thought. He has the feeling, he goes off it, and he just plays along as he goes. And not only does he work off feeling, but he also like. He has like a sense of urgency with everything he does. Like he has to do it quickly, and like quickly, perfectly. Like he has to do it now. But the thing is, like you can't just do everything instantly. Some things take time. Some things you can't just freaking rush, and sometimes you just can't understand that. And you know what? And again, things may seem slow right now. It may seem like that. Yeah, Again, it may just seem like I'm just comfortable here in this position. And again, I am, but I'm not staying here. This whole season of my life right now, it's temporary. It's merely a gateway to where I need to go. It's simply a gateway that's standing in between of where I used to be and where I'm going to be next. And that's real. And that's truly real, man. Yeah, like. And again, and again, my own little plans for my life too. Freaking, if a couple of years from now, if things still aren't the same, I'm making them change. And if I'm still living here when I'm 26, I'm changing that too. I'll be living on my own one way or another. I even have this one plan where freaking, it's becoming more and more feasible by the day, but right now it's still not completely feasible, but it's becoming more and more so. And my boy Caleb, Preston, and hell, even pretty soon Leslie, freaking we can just get to a point where if we can comfortably combine our combine our incomes together, and we could probably even get ourselves our own little place. Sure, and I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind of that being the way we move out. Shoot, like I really wouldn't mind. Like freaking, with our combined incomes, we all put our contributions into, actually paying off the rent. Then we, and then one guy pays like the, this set of bills, the other guy pays this set, one guy buys the food or whatever. Again, I don't mind if we do something like that either. But again, either way, like, I'm making sure things change. Because right now, this is like the school period, I'm calling this the school period because within the next 2 or 3 years, I want to get my class, my basic classes out of the way, and possibly even, and hopefully even, upgrade, in the workplace. But if I don't end up upgrading the workplace, at least I would have gotten my school done, or at least that, freaking chunk of school done, and I can move on from there, because again, I'm always moving, even if it's slowly. I'm always moving. And I'm not always gonna be in the same place. Again, I may be in the same place for a while, but I'm not gonna remain in that same place. And that's what I really want to stress to, because that's because I'm not here to stay here. Like, I'm not here to just pay rent, just go to work and hang out with my friends and play video games all the time. No, that's not what I was created to do. Again, that's what I love to do. That's not what I was created to do. I was created to do something more, do something greater. And you know what? You bet your damn rear that I'm going to get there, one way or another. I'm going to get there. God never gave me a time. He never gave me a freaking. He never gave me a time limit. He never freaking gave me or a time range. He never freaking gave me any instructions on how I'm going to get there. He just told me I'm going to get there. And when God says you're going to get somewhere, you're going to get somewhere. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how you do it. You're going to get there. Damn, man. And again, as of right now, I'm gonna. It's almost as if I have no other choice but to have things remain the same. But later down the road, I'm gonna have no other choice but to make things change, and that's how I'm gonna be doing things. You may not necessarily like it because I'm drawing. I'm not drawing this out, but I'm thinking this out, and I'm not using my feelings. I'm not doing it the way he would like me to do it. But you know what? This is what I gotta do, and this is how I'm gonna do it. Whether you like it or not. I got plans. I got plans. I got ambitions. And I am moving. But I'm. Again, I've got one God, one offer for eternity that exceeds everything that I ever wanted, with one opponent, which is Satan, and all the freaking tools he throws at me. Freaking, and yes, and I'm asking every single day. I'm asking God every single day, for the blessings, for the strength and ability to get to where He needs me to go, and one day at a time. Shoot, sometimes 1 hour at a time. And I'm not gonna let it slip. Hell no. Nah. Again, right now, freaking after I edit and post this podcast, I'm just gonna enjoy some Final Fantasy, possibly even read some manga or whatever. But you know what though? This lifestyle, it ain't gonna be forever. Sure, maybe later down the line, yeah, even working in worship ministries and stuff like that. Of course, I'm still gonna enjoy playing video games and being a weeb. But again, it's not gonna be the only thing I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing so much greater, so much bigger than myself. And that is what I'm focusing on. That is where my focus is on. And again, and I feel, here's my last point. Here's my last point, man. Just bear with me, So, and the way I view life, I don't feel like most people, or at least I feel like most people view life as in a very linear way. They think, things must be this way. Things have to be this way in order to get to this point. To get, things happen, to get to point A to point B, this has to happen, and this has to happen in between point A and point B. So if you do these things, you will get to point B, then you get to point C. I feel like people just see things as just a very linear way. They're stuck in a certain mindset where they say there is no other way to do anything, other than this way, to get to where this is. For example, you say, you can't have a career unless you go to college. You can't freaking be happy unless you have a wife and kids, or you can't be this, without doing that. And that's a very primitive and a very dangerous way of thinking. There's something very linear, because again, this is real life. This is real life, man. Things aren't linear. Things aren't just black and white. Things are gray. There's a lot of gray area between the black and whites of life. Things don't happen the way we think they are. They will. And for a lot of people, sure, they're told all their lives that, you know, there's only one way to get somewhere, but for them, in their situations, it's not really possible for them. So I mean, but there are ways for them to get to that same point, you know, just differently, but different routes, you know, stuff like that. And by that point, you can't be looking at life in a linear view. You know, you gotta look at it three-dimensionally, you know, even fourth dimensionally. You know, you can't just look at the x-axis. You gotta look at the y and the z, and hell, even the freaking w-axis. You know, don't overthink things, but don't look at things so damn simply. Because I mean, this is real life. Like, you know, this, like there is no one way to get somewhere. There's multiple ways to get somewhere. For some things, infinite ways. Now, truly the only thing in life that there's only one way to is salvation in Christ. Like, in order to get to heaven, in order to receive salvation, in order to, you know, to be with God, there is only one way, and that's Jesus Christ. As by, you know, just by being with all sincerity in your heart, accepting Him as your Lord and Savior, and, you know, just surrendering all of yourself to Him. Only by then, you know, only through Jesus Christ, you can, you know, get to God. And that's the only, and I believe that's really the only linear thing that there is in life. Everything else here down on earth, you know, you gotta think four-dimensionally, brother. You just can't be a simpleton. You know, you can't be, you can't just be an idiot that just follows, you know, normalcy. You can't be a damn normie. No, God has called us to be more than normies. He's called us, you know, to think for ourselves. You know, to freaking truly use the freaking brains in our craniums that He's given us. Like, we are here, you know, to live life, not freaking just, you know, live in a routine, you know, until we die. That's a terrible way to live. It's boring. It's meaningless, purposeless. You know, life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be examined. Life is meant to be tested. Life is meant, you know, not to be just a linear path. You know, everybody's got their own set paths, and within those set paths, everyone's got their own routes and their ways around that path. Hell, sometimes people have more than one path, and they all intertwine with each other, and that's good, and that's okay. You know, there is no one way to do something. And again, you know, my dad may not see it, but I see it. God sees it, and many other people see it. That there's no one way to do something. There's no one way, you know, to get something done. And that's what I truly believe, you know, that like right now in my life, again, I may not be working in the freaking linear path that we all expect, everyone, including myself, expect me to go. But you know what, though? After, you know, living life, after, you know, learning, growing, adapting, developing, I know now that ain't gonna happen the way I think. And I gotta look at life in multiple different perspectives and angles. It isn't just one way to go. There isn't just one way to go. There's multiple ways to go. And I learned that the hard way. But you know what? Nonetheless, I learned it. I understand it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to where I need to go. In any which way I can. Because the only linear thing in this life is Christ. Everything else is free for all, brother. God, my voice is kind of sore, but anyways, so you all me. Hey, look at the bright side. At least this segment ain't 30 minutes. But anyways, so if you made it this far, thanks for listening. This is you know, again, just like my last podcast, it was more of a serious tone. But you know what though, like you know, next podcast, you know, probably tomorrow. I'll probably, you know, record and drop it tomorrow. You know, again, I'll try to bring some more, you know, some more lighthearted or whatever, or some more, you know, funny or whatever. But you know what though, again, this is like this is my personal diary, you know. So my personal open diary. Well, really, by that point, it's a journal. But again, a personal journal that anyone can listen to. And you know what? And why shouldn't I put serious stuff in here sometimes? You know. But anyways, and don't think I've forgotten about that freaking radio drama, episode 25. Hell yeah! Like by the time I get to episode 25, or after I finish recording and posting episode 24, believe me, all my freaking focus is going is that freaking radio drama, and I'm making sure, you know, I'm making sure I do my best on that, you know, before dropping it. And so by this point, you know, we you know, the audience should be pretty used to me not dropping an episode every day now, and I'm over here, you know, I take time between episodes now, so, you know, so I again, you know, so don't, I'm saying so a lot, god damn it, but anyways, I like just know that, you know, that I hadn't forgot about it. You know, it is gonna take me a bit, you know, a little bit to do it, but you know what? It's going to be the best well, not the best I ever made, but I'm going to try, you know, my best to make this. You know, I'm going to try my best efforts, you know, and no matter how long it takes, it's more than one way to do it. Oh my god. Anyways, thank you for making it a star. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. You know, I don't know what else to say. Thank you. This is your boy Asiago on 3AM Thoughts, signing off. Have you a good one.